Unfortunately, Chad, it does.
But come on, you can't review 5.
I must, Chad. For the people of the internet must know what they already know, that Star Trek V is a movie that should never be seen and is one of the worst Star Trek movies ever made.
Let's hear what you have to say about 5. Go ahead, spit it out. Spit it out. But as you can see in my collection, 5 doesn't exist.
Alright, let's divulge into Star Trek V, the not-so-final frontier. Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Yeah, what a joke that is. Now, I can't say this any better, so I'm going to quote another critic that I admire online named Confused Matthew, who in his review said that Star Trek V is in fact not a movie. It plays like a movie, it looks like a movie, but it's not. It's a joke. Now, in this Star Trek movie, the studio got the genius idea to not call someone who knows how to direct, like Nicholas Meyer, or get Leonard Nimoy to direct again, but they thought, hey, let's give it to Eagle William Shatner. That way he can direct it, and people will go see it because they're going to want to see it because William Shatner's directing it. Unfortunately, the studio didn't realize that they did 3 good movies in a row, so they didn't need this boy to have William Shatner direct it, and William Shatner is just not a very good director, nor is he a very good story guy. And he comes up with a story about the search for God, which is just so mind-boggling stupid. And you just ask yourself, why does this belong in a Star Trek movie? Basically, throughout this movie, it's just really bad. It's badly directed, the effects aren't very good, the characters don't really learn much about themselves, and the movie spends most of its time dealing with this really silly plot about finding God. And then we meet our villain, Spock, who is Spock's half-brother, which is really kind of forced in. And though the actor plays him well, his plan just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because we don't really know what he's up to until about halfway through the movie. Then he explains he's on the search for God, and from that point on, you know the movie's dead because it either goes one of 2 ways. 1, it's going to contradict everything all these churches have told us, everything, in life, and people are just not going to believe this movie. Or 2, it's not going to be God, and it's going to be something really stupid. And just to let you know, spoiler alert, it's the second one. The movie doesn't even look very good. It's kind of bland. Even in scenes where in their woods, or they go to the Paradise City where the grass isn't green and the girls are not that pretty. And the sets and places they go, they're not interesting. It's not like Vulcan or Planet Genesis or even the 1980s. It just all looks really bland. And they go on this really dumb adventure, and the Enterprise doesn't even look that good because the Enterprise is broken down. And come on, yeah, we get that it adds some excitement, but come on, this ship is not going to fly anywhere. Why can't they realize that Scotty told us? And this movie sort of has the opposite problem that Star Trek 1 has, which is there are a lot of stuff going on, which is why I think I do prefer this one a little over Star Trek 1, but it's just dumb moment after dumb moment after dumb moment, and occasionally we will get a moment that actually feels like Star Trek, but it's just not worth it. I mean, there is a scene where Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are singing Row, Row Your Boat and trying to teach Spock the lyrics. Yeah. On top of this, the effects are not very good despite a raised budget, the film is not very well directed, and the actors who play the crew of the Enterprise, they do an alright job, but even at times you can tell they think this is a dumb idea. Really, the only good things I can say about the movie is there are a few jokes that work minorly, and Lawrence Luckinbill, who plays Sybok, he does a good job as the villain, but unfortunately the script does not give him many smart things to do. Overall, don't see this movie. This is pretty much one of the worst Star Trek movies out there. I don't think it's the worst, but it is pretty bad, and I just can't see a reason to recommend it. I'm going to give Star Trek V, The Not-So-Final Frontier, a D+, simply because that performance by Lawrence Luckinbill is pretty good, and there are a few moments that are like, oh, okay, this is Star Trek, but the rest of the time, it's just stupid, it's just bland, and it just does not feel like a good Star Trek movie. Alright guys, that's all I have to say about Star Trek V, thankfully, now that we're past that. Comment below, tell me what you think of Star Trek V, tell me you like the movie, don't like the movie. If you like the movie, that's fine, just tell me why, I'm really interested in why. And if you want to get updates on when my next Star Trek reviews are going to be uploaded, hit that button right there and subscribe to my channel, that way you can see next week's review of Star Trek VI and beyond. And that's all I have to say, so with that, this is That Movie Nerd, signing off.